Well, hey, it's JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, I'm back to talk to you guys more about Stephen Twitch Boss's widow, okay, Miss Allison Holker. She is deciding to release a book where she will be talking about Twitch, things that, he may have dealt with leading up to his unaliving, as well as, I guess, her journey or whatnot. And people are saying that she is planning to release his journal entries. Okay, there's been a lot of conversation around it where some people are not in support of this and some people are in support of it, where they feel as though her releasing this information could help others to heal, because keeping things in secret is where the problem lies. Okay, so you guys can make your own determination, your own decision on that. It's been a lot of conversation about it. I know initially I was kind of in support of her doing as she chooses a bit, because that was her husband and stuff. But then when I hear more of the family and friends coming out talking, it does make me kind of give her a little bit of the side. In all honesty, I had to reevaluate that for myself. And I'm kind of like, listen, if that was my husband, God forbid, like, listen, I'm not going to release his journal. Like, that's his stuff for him to release. That's not that's not my place. I don't know the type of conversations that Twitch or he may have had, but I do think that Allison has every right to tell her story. Okay. She has every right to speak on, her healing from his passing or whatnot. But a lot of the friends have come out to accuse her of being a drug user, and a lot of things they've said about Miss Allison. Now they've called her a liar, amongst other things. Okay, a lot of this stemmed from an interview that she did with People magazine, where she sat down and she talked about finding, a lot of drugs in a shoebox or something like that on the day that she was trying to find clothing for him to wear for the funeral or whatnot. And that's where she said she discovered what was it, a cornucopia of drugs or whatnot. And that's when people came out to say, well, hey, ma'am, you want to talk about drugs? Let's talk about your usage. Okay, let's talk about your DUIs or whatever. And then, some people were also letting it be known that, when they had the autopsy done on him, there was no drugs or alcohol found in his system. So it's been a lot of, talk and conversation. A lot of people have come out, okay, and more are continuing to come out. It's been so much backlash and back and forth and so much conversation that even Miss Allison had to come out and put a firm statement out, which is why we're here. Okay, before we get into what Allison has to say, we're going to check out someone else. I do believe her name is Comfort Edoki, and I hope I said that right. If not, it's Comfort Edoke. You guys will correct me in the comments, because that's just how y'all is, right? But Comfort is she made a post. All right, I know she made like a statement yesterday, and she was saying give her some time to gather her thoughts, because she was, like a bit surprised about what was happening. And so she came back, she gave her thoughts, and we're going to get into that, as well as one of his close friends, Twitch's close friends, Manny Cross, that has been on Miss Allison's tail for a very long time. Okay, he also came out and did a video and labeled that one as part one. Okay, and shortly after that, Miss Allison came out and gave a lengthy statement of her own. But let us go ahead and first get into what Comfort had to say. Okay, starting off with this post here, Comfort says, if you truly loved your late husband, our Stephen Laurel Boss, even if there were challenges with his family, basic decency and compassion would compel you to show respect, especially if you claim he was fighting an addiction you didn't even know about while he was alive. Wouldn't love call for concern and communication with his family rather than airing it all out in a magazine? What's the real motive here? Awareness or attention? Stephen isn't here to defend himself, yet his name continues to be dragged through the mud. Love doesn't look like this. But manipulation and marketing for personal gain does. As Courtney said, and I'll echo, stick to your own demons. Now, we did get into Courtney's video on the very first video that I did yesterday or day before, when I talked about the situation. We got a chance to check out Manny's page as well as Courtney's, and I wasn't even expecting all of what they had to say and how they were going to go in the way that they did. They both accused, Miss they both accused Twitch's widow, Allison, of abusing drugs, and they even listed out some of the things that they were allegedly, they were accusing her of allegedly using. And it has been a mess. Courtney definitely told her to stick to her own demons. If you want to speak on a story and what a person may have been going through, speak on what you were going through and what led you to go down that path. So it's a lot going on. They go on to say, for too long, I've stayed silent, quietly supporting the family, even as I watched this all unfold, signing NDAs under the guise of protecting his name only enabled you to twist the narrative. But now, enough is enough. Since Stephen's passing, your actions have been nothing short of questionable. Within 48 hours, you changed your last name from Boss back to Holker on Instagram. You hired a defense attorney. Ooh, I did not know that. Okay, I knew about her changing her last name within 48 hours, but I didn't know that she hired a defense attorney and altered your story about Stephen's whereabouts. What is the purpose of all of this? What good does it do to disrespect Stephen's family, especially his mother? I've heard the conversations firsthand, the disrespect, the dismissal, the unbelievable behavior towards the woman who gave him life. How could someone who claims to love him treat his family this way? She goes on to say, when Stephen passed, I heard the devastating news from everyone but you. I messaged, I called, and was left on red to this day. You didn't even tell me about the funeral. I had to assert myself to ensure I was there because the family and our closest friends wanted me by their side. Stephen and I shared a bond that was genuine, honest, and unshakable. Since his death, I've watched his children be isolated from an entire side of the family. My heart aches for them because they deserve love, unity, and the full picture of who their father was. I still have hope that reconciliation is possible, but calling out the truth is necessary for that to happen. Whew, this is a lot. I really wish I would have got a chance to actually meet Twitch. We are from the same city, both from Montgomery, Alabama. And I was aware that he went to my church, although I never really ran into him back in the day. But I wish I would have got the chance, to meet him. And I really hate this. I really hate this. It's so much hurt going on. Everybody seems to be hurt, and everybody is continuing to grieve. They're just in a tight spot right now. And I don't even know if her releasing this book would have ever been a right time, even if she probably would not have mentioned the journal, even if she would not have probably mentioned him. But I feel like she would have to mention him, right? She would have to, because that's the most notable thing, in my opinion, that is attached to her, is the passing of her beloved, husband or whatnot. So she would definitely have to mention him. But when she did the People interview, she talked about how she wants people to get to know her away from him, outside of him and stuff. So some people take that as a negative as well, because you want people to get to know you outside of him, but you're still using him as a way for you to profit off of. And I don't know, y'all let me know, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe there were things that she should not have mentioned, but she does still have his children that he left her with for her to have to take care of. So let me know your thoughts about that. I know you will anyway, because that's just how you is. Okay. Now, Comfort goes on to say, Stephen and I, along with several others, got matching tattoos for real. Forever. It was a bond that symbolized loyalty, love, and unity, keeping us locked in no matter what. That's the kind of person Stephen was, someone who valued those connections deeply. To see that bond disrespected and how you've handled his legacy is beyond heartbreaking. Stephen was one of the most mindful, respectful, and loyal people I've ever known. If the roles were reversed, he would never exploit personal battles or share intimate details of someone he loved, especially not for profit or attention. Love means protecting those battles, even in death, and carrying their struggles as your own, not using them as a platform. Okay? She goes on to say, Stephen's death is a devastating and unresolved tragedy. The man I knew had plans for his life, plans filled with hope and purpose that didn't align with what has been portrayed. Something about all of this has felt off from the very beginning. If you've ever had that same feeling, you're not alone. Stephen was a beautiful soul, but one who was trapped in a facade. And now, in hindsight, is painfully clear he was living with the enemy. When I tell you everybody paints this woman out as the enemy, is crazy. You know, I came across this one. I don't even know if I should mention it. I'm going to listen. I'll just say people have accused her of infidelity, and it's just a lot going on. I don't know. And it's crazy because one of the people is also tied to that Fox Sports situation where they're accusing Joy of smashing him. Allegations have been out there, okay? People have alleged that she was messing with, girl, it's a mess. Okay, it's a mess. All right, let's keep going. She ends it by saying, "Forever, for real or forever." Okay. Now, I told you guys that Manny did come to the front and Manny had some things to say. Before we get into it, let's get into his caption. He says, "You want to tell lies? Bet. We will tell the truth. Part one, as long as you keep it up, we will keep it up. We only stayed silent so the kids, black side of the family, could continue to see the kids because you would punish them when they spoke up. But guess what? Mama C said enough is enough. We all got the green light. His friends, family, producers, actors, etc. Let this be an example to all women like you. This is power of true friends and brotherhood. Let the show begin." Whew, so this is actually the person, y'all. And now, crystal ball, this one here, okay, without a crystal ball, has really, and we'll get into many, but this is the one here that has really been laying it thick into Miss Allison, okay? And I'm going to say again, all of these things are deeply alleged, and it's just really interesting what is going on, okay? But you guys can check that out at your convenience. Let us go ahead and get into what Manny has to say.
I told you, girl. I told you in our last conversation what was going to happen. And you ain't listen. And now look at them comments. Look at what Courtney said. Courtney, the one you confided in.
Let me pause. Can I pause? Courtney says, no. Did I get into this one? I think I got into this one the other day. Let's see. Anyone who knows me knows I go straight to the source during a conflict and handle my business. But since there's clearly no shame in being so public, I haven't said a word in 2 years. But here I go. Okay. Yes, we did. We got into Courtney's post on the other day, and we got into her post on Instagram. Okay.
The one you confided in. The day he departed. The one that was there from the beginning. Look what she said. Everybody go read Courtney Platt's post. Go read my post.
We did get into his post the other day as well. Okay.
An addict? You know good and well that man wasn't no addict. All this to sell a book? Huh? Sorry. Hey. Thought people were stupid, girl. And they ain't. You took good kindness for weakness. You did. You made all his friends and his family, his closest people, sign an NDA to attend his funeral. His mama. You made his mama sign an NDA to see his body. The moment that...
Oh, wow. I don't know what a part 2 is, but I'm sure that's going to be dropping soon because it doesn't seem like she's going to be stopping, as she does have a book to promote, and she is going to be releasing that book on next month. Okay. I do feel like this is a saga that's not going to end. I think from this moment on out, if they have not already been on Allison since his passing, and likely before his passing, they are going to really be on it now moving forward. Okay. because now he has a whole army that he's already had before his passing, and they are at a place where they feel like they've been holding in a lot, and they have been so ready to expose her. But you guys leave your thoughts and comments down below if they're, going too far. If they say they love and care about him, at some point they should consider and think about his children. Or if you guys feel like no, call her out accordingly, because whatever she's doing, she's disrespecting the father of those children. So let me know your thoughts about all of that. But let's get into what Miss Allison has to say, okay? So Allison takes the time to put up a post, and she says, to fans of Steven and our family and friends, I want to be clear that my only intention in writing the book is to share my own story as well as part of my life with Steven to help other people. Just like you, I never really knew what happened, and even as I am trying to put the pieces together, I will never really know. If you decide to read the book, hopefully you'll see my intention is to celebrate the love and life I share with Steven and our 3 beautiful children, okay? Now, I thought he only had 2, but I believe that he claimed the oldest one, because that's what happens, A lot of times people get married, they go ahead and they accept the child that you had with them. So if Steven claimed, I know, and I'm saying that because I know a lot of people are going to dispute the fact that, hey, that man only had 2 kids, not 3. Stop saying my. But I don't know if he saw her as a daughter, as his, then it is what it is, okay? But let's keep going. So she says, our 3 beautiful children, and also the more complex aspects of both of our lives. I hope that by sharing our full story, maybe I can help someone else who might see themselves or a loved one in Steven. In sharing, I hope that maybe they can catch some of the red flags that I missed before it's too late. Over the course of the last 2 years, I've spoken in detail with Jami, as well as the Solomon family and the Defensive Line Foundation, to better educate myself on mental health issues so that I can share warning signs with others. All of my proceeds from this book are going to fund the mental health focused foundation I started in Steven's honor. Move with kindness. My hope is that we don't need to lose another husband, brother, father, or friend to suicide. Okay, I believe that if Steven were able to choose, he would choose to have his story told if it meant saving even one life. Much love to all those who have supported our family these many years. Okay, so that is what Miss Allison has to say, letting people know that if you support her book, it will go to a good cause. Now, if you let some people tell it, they've done a bit of research on the foundation and they are alleging that it doesn't exist, but maybe it's in the making. Maybe it's under a different name at this time. I'm not necessarily sure. But people are not liking her. And I don't know what she may have done behind the scenes, but when I tell you it's not that many positive posts out there about her, that's concerning, just a little bit. It's interesting, people keep talking about a legacy, protecting the legacy. And I mean, maybe that's how his friends and family feel, but I don't know if it's more so about protecting a legacy. Really, it's really just about respecting one's privacy, really. Okay, initially I was like, okay, I understand where she's coming from. Maybe this can help somebody else. But then also at the same time, when you look at it, I mean, it was in that person's personal journal. If they didn't tell the world before they left, they about don't want the world to know after they left. Okay, potentially. Okay, I don't know. And I feel like people also try to make this a race thing, and for me, it's not even a black or white thing. Honestly, people say, I don't know. I just feel like it's not really about black or white. I feel like this could be a black woman doing it, and people still would raise the same questions if the situation don't look right or sound right. It's still you still gonna get called out for your works, period, regardless of who you are. So yeah, I don't know. I have seen people that say like this isn't about race, but then turn around and say, well, he chose her. So I'm like, well, then is it about race or it's not about race? Because then you followed it up with, well, he chose to be with that white woman. So I'm like, well, which one is it? Okay. But that's what's pretty much going on with this matter at hand. Okay. I can't say that, I don't know. More may come. Whether I'm going to cover it or not, I'm not sure. Okay, but I do feel like these people are going to be on her arse for a hot minute. Okay, and I really think it's due to the fact that nobody has full closure on what really happened and what took place in that hotel room on the day that, you know, Stephen died. So it's a lot of things going on, a lot of people grieving, a lot of people hurt, a lot of people not understanding. I'll be honest, a NDA at a funeral for me is crazy. I'm trying to see if people have to sign NDAs just to go to a president's funeral. You know what I'm saying? Maybe so. I'm like, to view a president's body, like, do they even do that? I mean, maybe they do. I haven't heard of that, but I'm just like, I've never heard of people having to sign an NDA. Did they have to do that at Michael Jackson's funeral? Especially if it was private. And you know what? Speaking of funeral, I know his cousin was over on Twitter and she did make a statement. We got into something that she posted the other day. I think her name was Big L. And she kind of made a post where she says, I want to read it real quickly. Did she post that? Yes, she says everyone there had a relationship with Stephen. So she's speaking on the funeral, okay? And she says everyone there had a relationship with Stephen because it was a small service. Then she goes on to say that Allison went on to have another funeral for the people that he was not close to, and those people would be considered the quote unquote others, okay? So I don't know if those individuals had to sign NDAs. I don't know if her own family had to sign NDAs and not just people that knew him. I would think she probably gave it to everybody, child, especially if she wanted to be the only one to be able to tell his story. It's possible she tried to shut everybody down, but I'm not gonna lie, like that was a bit awkward. Okay, now I haven't seen pictures or anything inside the funeral. Don't want to see anything inside of the funeral when it comes to that. But I have seen photos of them outside leaving the funeral. I have seen those photos, but of course paparazzi caught that from across the street and stuff. But that's about it. Okay, that's about it. You guys leave your thoughts and comments down below regarding this matter. I'm Jami, that's me. Like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jami, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cash died at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agents. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I could face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim, on a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasted film, I can feel it pull